Hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. I shaved the beard off. I feel like that's a W. I feel like that was very much needed. It's now gone and yous were 100% right. But I don't know though, I feel like a little bit, let me know, do I grow it a little bit or do I leave it the way it is and keep young and fresh? Anyway, let me know in the comments down below. Today, we're going to be talking about loads of things. We've got Salah topics because apparently I have an agenda against Salah. We're going to have a little debate about Erling Haaland and Mohamed Salah in a bit because Salah has a record that Haaland could break. We're also going to talk about the Ajax game, injury updates and lineup predictions. And then we're going to close out the video with just a little bit of other stuff. So get your bums in your seats, grab your popcorn and let's get into today's Redmond Roundup. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this agenda that I seem to have with Mohamed Salah, and it's been really building up over the past couple of weeks, and I've been seeing certain comments that, if I remember, I'll put on the screen now, about like, James, you don't know what you're talking about, or James, statistically Salah has done this, or James, you have an agenda against Salah. I think it's absolutely absurd that out of all the things that I've said between now and January where Salah's been out of form, somehow means that I do not like him, have an agenda against him, or don't want him to play for this football club. Absolutely ludicrous. The main conversations that I can only imagine people have misheard, because that's all that this can be contributed to, because I haven't said anything about selling Salah. I haven't even said drop Salah right now. The point that I made clearly in my video where it was like, let's talk about Mo Salah, was that if he continues this for another 4 or 5 games, say if he gets back from international break and has 2 or 3 more of these terrible performances, it's no longer a case of let's just try and get him playing out of bad form. We're playing him into worse form. He might need the break. I'm trying to do something that's going to be beneficial for Mohamed Salah so that he can come back and be firing on all cylinders. And he's, one, not ruining his reputation. In general, he likes to be known as one of the best players in the world. And the more he plays on a week-to-week basis, that notion gets even lower by the week. And he's not scoring goals in the meantime while he's putting in these bad performances. And even though he's getting the odd assist here and there, he's not overly creating. Now, in no way did I say in that video, let's sell Mohamed Salah or let's, forget about Mohamed Salah. We've just signed him on a new contract. It makes no logical sense. You need to use him, you need to play him, but you want to get the best out of him. If that means that he's playing games week in, week out, but he's getting worse by the week, why not let's do a little reverse, drop him for a couple of games, let him compete for his spot and see if the decision-making improves. Let him just solely focus on training, get back to what he was doing right. That's only my recommendation, but honestly, the absolute fools who watch this channel and think that I have some sort of agenda against Mohamed Salah, it's honestly, it is a true sign of people who aren't able to listen, and that's the only thing I've got to say there. Anyway, while we're on the topic of Mohamed Salah, we are going to talk about the Ajax game very briefly, but first of all, I want to talk about Erling Haaland, because even though I'm wearing like very Man City-esque colours, in no way, shape or form do I want to be seeing Man City doing any better than what they have done in previous seasons. And what I'll say about Erling Haaland is that I don't think he contributes to the significantly more draws that Man City have been getting. I just think cohesively, Man City always take a while to build into a season, which is what is contributing to certain smaller teams, lower calibre sides, who are able to go there and get a result, or at least cause problems. He got 10 goals in 6 games. And the debate that I wanted to have about Erling Haaland, because I certainly haven't spoke about him enough on this YouTube channel, so the debate is, will he break Mohamed Salah's 32-goal season Premier League record? For those who don't know, Mohamed Salah holds the Premier League record for the most goals in one season. He got 32 goals in 36 games, and currently Erling Haaland has 10 goals in 6. Now, to compare that to Mohamed Salah's Premier League record after 10 games in the 17-18 season, which was the season that he got the Premier League record, he had 4 goals in 10 games. Now, let me just remind you, in the first 10 games, Mohamed Salah got 4 goals. In the first 6 games, Erling Haaland has 10. That is absolutely insane, and only really signifies that in a team where he's the main outlet and gets the chances provided to him and created for him, it only really means that he's probably going to score loads more goals, but the case study doesn't just stop there. Erling Haaland scores goals wherever he is. It's only amplified because of the quality behind him, but he already has an insane goal-to-game ratio. He already has a mad fucking left foot. He is a robot. I saw a tweet yesterday saying about how Khamzat Chimaev and Erling Haaland were most certainly born in the same lab, which is 100% true. Have you seen the fucking size of him? Honestly, I do just sit there all the time and think, I said go and get Erling Haaland. Haaland when he was at Salzburg. I don't like to say that I get all these things right, and I'm sure there's complications to why we couldn't have brought him in, but we needed an out-and-out number 9 for a good while, and I said go and get that Erling Haaland for 17 million or whatever have you, because he is boss, and he's different, he's unique. No one can hit a strike, or no one can strike a ball like the way that he does it, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up his ass, but the numbers back it up. Now, the only two conversations that I'm going to have here is because, based on ability, he hasn't got an issue because he scores goals wherever he is. Therefore, those two things heavily lean towards in his favour to suggest he's going to break Mohamed Salah's record. But two things, injuries and appearances, and then also good and bad patches. Now, a player can have a good patch and a bad patch for sure, but Erling Haaland, as I mentioned before, has a great goal-to-game ratio that even when he isn't performing in a great game where he's not getting loads of touches, he's still very likely to put the ball in the back of the net. So let's rule out the bad patches, because Erling Haaland, even in worse sides, has shown he can still score goals. Injuries. Now, Mohamed Salah has been able to get so much volume of goals since his time at Liverpool, break so many goal-scoring records at the club and in the Premier League, because he was reliable and he was there week in, week out. Like, when you talk about someone who's in their athletic prime, Mohamed Salah is the true definition of that. And it's why I also think that he is able to get goal-scoring records like 32 goals in 36 games. And even if he doesn't break the record this season, Erling Haaland will eventually score more than 32 goals in the Premier League. That's just my belief, and injuries can take that away. But if you think about the footballer itself, then yeah, he's probably going to score 32 goals. So let me know what you think. Will he break it this season? I'm going to say no, but I do think he's going to break it one day. And I'm only going to say no based on the fact that I think he could miss about 10 games. You just don't know, do you? But that being said, he's not going to the World Cup, so I could just be going purely off all the talk that was in the summer from neutrals and even Man City fans talking about his injury record. If he stays fit, he's definitely breaking that record. So I'm only placing my bet on the basis of injuries. Anyway, I think I've done enough rambling to where I've done debates and Mohamed Salah talk. So let's get into the Ajax preview. A very mad game of football because the intensity or the urgency of this game is significantly more higher than what it has been in the past. Ajax have won 6 out of their 6 games. They've scored 21 goals. They've conceded 3. Not to mention they smashed Rangers 4-0. They put on a clinic, and they have got a structure that was built during the time of Erik ten Hag. And even though they always had a structure to where they've been successful before ten Hag has been able to make it so... when it comes from the younger players coming through, the fact that the first team squad plays the same as the youth team squads, I like to make sure that Ajax players understand the style of play before they get in the first team. So when they do get in the first team and they're dominating possession and they don't have to defend as much as other teams do because they've got so much of the ball, then that still translates when you get a new coach in and the coach is just basically there to direct the players and be that head figure that they can look towards. But the style of play is very similar. Defensively, they're still very compact. And that's without the players like Gravenberch, Per Scherz, who's had a very good game against Liverpool before in the past, Anthony, Haller. These are main figures in that Ajax team that have left the club, but yet again, they still won all their games this season. And the reason why the urgency is significantly more higher for this game is because the fact that they're playing really good, we're not playing great. We've already lost to Napoli 4-1. And if we lose this game, that puts most likely both Napoli and Ajax on 6 points after 2 games. Which also means we're most likely going to need to win our remaining 4 games, which include Napoli and Ajax, to get through the Champions League group stages. Now, if we get a draw, that's not a bad result because it takes away points from Ajax. So I will actually take a draw, as mad that is to say, and it shows how the standards have dropped this season with the form that we're in and how good Ajax are. All that into consideration, I'm not saying I think we're going to get a draw, but I'll most certainly take a draw if I can get it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I think from a Liverpool standpoint, the only thing that's quite bad is that Andrew Robertson has been confirmed to have a knee injury, which means that he's not going to be involved in this game. Not too devastated about it. Obviously, if he's out for a long period of time, then understandable, but I want to see Kostas Tsimikas more. I want to see him in the first team. I think he adds an element of creativity that is more precise than Andrew Robertson on a lot of occasions. Yes, I don't think he brings the intense side of the game that Robertson does, which is in times what we need. But right now, we need composure. Right now, we need cohesiveness. And I think Tsimikas is someone who isn't shot of confidence based on recent performances because he hasn't been playing in the games, and when he has, he's done very, very sound. Tsimikas is one of the few confident players we've got right now, and we do need to make these changes that, with Jurgen Klopp being so generous to players that he trusts, maybe we just need these players, it sounds really shit, but to get injured so we can give these players a chance and give them a shot. Andrew Robertson didn't get his shot in his first season until Alberto Moreno got injured, and that's Alberto Moreno. And that's because Alberto Moreno put in a little bit better performances that year to where Klopp could trust them, and he thought, yeah, we'll embed Robertson in. Same with Fabinho. Fabinho took time to gel in because there was other players who were more trustworthy in that position. But the second that you start getting injuries and the second that players start going out, that's when the opportunities present themselves. Same with Harvey Elliott and Thiago. That seems to be the common theme under Jurgen Klopp. So to see Tsimikas, I don't know how many games it's going to be. I don't know how long the injury is. But whether it's 1 game, 2 games or 3 games against a very good Ajax team, you've got Chelsea next, and it depends if that game goes ahead. But I am really intrigued to see how he can perform, and not only perform, but take his opportunity, because I think all Liverpool fans can agree, anytime we've seen Tsimikas, it's nothing but good things. And hopefully, not that we get more injuries, but hopefully more opportunities are going to be presented to other people in this squad that aren't 37-year-old James Milner. Anyway, lineup predictions, I'm going to go with Alisson in goal. Left back, I'm going to go with Tsimikas with Robertson being out. Right back... what I would do is put Joe Gomez right back and then put Trent in midfield, but that's never going to happen. And I also wouldn't mind dropping Trent right now because I think his work rate has been so poor in recent games. So a one-off game against Ajax I don't think is a bad thing. Plus, Ajax have really tricky wingers, but he's going to start Trent, so that's what it is there. I'm going to go with Matip and Van Dijk in the defence. I know Van Dijk's been poor, but again, he hasn't been playing bad long enough to where I'd be like, right, you need to be dropped. So what I'd suggest is try and let him play out of bad form. Hopefully everyone else elevates their performances, and then that will put us on a steady playing field. But we need Matip in this game at centre-back. I don't want to see Gomez. I don't want to see Nat Phillips. As much as I love Nathaniel Deeney Van Phillips, I need to see Matip. I need to see someone who is more composed. Again, another player that's not short of confidence at the moment and can play it out from the back, which has been one of our main things that we've struggled to do, including with Virgil there. Midfield, I've got to go with Fabinho. There's no Henderson, so Thiago's back. I think Thiago's got to play in this game. I've just remembered that from the top of my brain, and I'm so happy that it did, because that automatically changes the game. When he came on against Napoli, we didn't concede a goal. That's not a great achievement, but Thiago kept coming on. We saw the difference in the midfield. We saw the level of urgency, and again, like I keep repeating it, but it's another player that hasn't been playing week in, week out at these shit levels. It's someone who knows the difference. It's someone who last season was competing in semi-finals, finals. The mentality is just on a different level right now with someone like Thiago. The only thing we can pray for is that the man stays fit. So give him 60 minutes, in my opinion. And then alongside them two, you probably go with Harvey Elliott on the right-hand side of the midfield. And then going into the front three, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz, and I will go with Jota. But it's interesting because you've got Jota, you've got Nunes, you've got Firmino. Firmino's been the most informed. Nunes needs games to get goals. I would not be opposed to Firmino starting and Nunes coming on as a threat. But at the same time, I'm fine. I do think that Jurgen Klopp will start Nunes. So let me know how you think the lineup will read. In conclusion, I've went with Alisson, Tsimikas, Trent, Van Dijk, Matip, midfield of Fabinho, Thiago, Harvey, and then the front three of Salah, Nunes, and Diaz. Score prediction, I'm going with a 2-1 Ajax. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I've just got to say it how I see it. Ajax are more compact than us at the moment. They might not have better individuals, but they still have quality all over the pitch. The new young players who have came through the team have adapted perfectly because of what I was talking about before. The structure's still the same. They're still as dominant. They're scoring goals. They're hard to score against. We can't score goals. We can't stop conceding. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to go with 2-1 Ajax. And the same way I've been proven wrong every other week where I've said we're going to win or draw, hopefully I'm proven wrong this week. And lastly, why has Wolves bought Diego Costa? Why have you done that? Diego Costa is one of those players, like, let's be really, really honest with ourselves. This is a signing for pure name value. This is not someone who significantly improves Wolves. And Wolves fans, I'll get the comments down below. I'll argue this all day till the cows come home, mate. Since he's left the Premier League in 2017, yeah, I've done my research. Since he left Chelsea in 2017, he has scored 16 goals. We're now in 2022, not to mention we're going into 2023, and he has scored 16 goals for Atletico Madrid, and I swear he went to the Brazilian league. He's also 33. And even though you got him on a free transfer, he was a free agent, so you're not spending money there. How do you think in any world he's someone who can come into games and score you loads of goals with that proven track record? Especially in a team like Wolves, who do not create a significantly high volume amount of chances, which is probably what Diego Costa needs. Plus, can he keep up with the intensity? Oh, I just don't get this. I just don't get football. Like, why are you buying Diego Costa, the elephant man? It makes no goddamn sense. But let me know if you think it's a good signing. I definitely don't. The only reason why I can half understand it is maybe Wolves have needed squad depth in that position, and because obviously with all the financial fair play stuff that they've had going on, they've needed to balance the books. They think, you know what, let's just bring in Diego Costa, the elephant man. Yeah, he's not the same striker. He's probably not going to score any more than 2 goals, but he's back. And that somehow is exciting because he was just a shithouse. And do you know what? I didn't like him purely because of how good he was against us, but I like shithousery. So if I see him go to like Everton and score a last minute winner, believe me, I will do a video solely on that goal. I will analyse the goal, I will talk about the goal, and I will also emphasise my feelings towards that goal, for sure. But anyway, Diego Costa, he's back. So that's the end of the video. Let me know what you thought. This Redmond roundup was all over the gaff, but I like it that way. Who cares about structure? Liverpool are having the same thing right now. Who needs a formation? Let's just do what we want. Everyone on free roam. But honestly though, thank you so much for tuning in and having all the support that you've been showing me recently. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Get your thoughts in the comments down below about everything that I've talked about. Smash a like if you want, it helps out massively. So if you do want to help out the channel, then that really means a lot. If you want to subscribe as well, we're getting more subscribers by the day, so if you want to just keep that going, then I'm not going to stop you. But thank you so much. I love every single one of you. I hope you're having a belter day. I hope you have a belter evening, and I will see you all in a bizzle. Peace.
Liverpool 05 was the best Champions League game I've ever seen.
But it wasn't. Look, it was huge, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I think these top.
You've
I think
got
these top
third.
3 only because I thought 99 was amazing. Think about what 99 was.
99 was amazing.
Is a treble. Not only was it a treble, Arsenal the previous year had done a double, and Arsenal fans were, they had a swagger about them.
I get.
They'd done a double. United was like, don't care, done a treble.
I get that. I get what you're saying. Liverpool 05, they were, as you all know, everyone will know, they were 3-0 down. To get back 3-0 and to win on penalties the way they did.
That team, yeah, that midfield of Pirlo, Gattuso and Kaka.
Wow.
Back of Nesta, Maldini, Stab.
Sexy football.
I'm not joking, it was Rick Seedorf. It was fully loaded.
But that's
Hernan
applicable,
Crespo,
that's applicable to
Hernan
Manchester
Crespo up
United
front with
beating Bayern.
Shevchenko. No, it isn't. Hernan Crespo up front with Shevchenko.
It is.
It
Bayern were
is
pretty good.
scary. Yeah. What's that?
You're saying things as if they aren't true about the Bayern Munich team that Manchester United beat or the Bayern Munich team that
No,
Chelsea
it's very good. I'm not saying that, but I'm trying to say that makes AC Milan squad's better.
It wasn't. It gave up a 3-0 lead.
Look, this is coming from a guy you can't despise. I despise Man United with every fibre of my body. I do, but they won a treble.
I know.
And it's the last minute. Like,
It's incredible.
Mate, they were losing.
They were
losing
to Bayern
in the
Munich.
91st minute.
Yeah, I agree that.
They were losing and they won. It didn't go to
Liverpool,
penalties. They were losing and won.